Welcome to another episode of Tax Self-Starters, where we bring you the latest tips and insights on tax lien and tax deed investing. This week, we're going to bring in Brian Seidensticker from Tax Sale Resources. And everyone has been asking, why did Brian and Rachel at Tax Sale Resources create Tax Sale Resources? Where did all of that come from? What was the purpose of creating that entity? So we'll get that information from Brian Seidensticker when we return. Hey, Brian, thanks for always joining us. We're grateful to have you here. This week, we're just going to ask you something simple. A lot of the audiences have been wondering, why did you create Tax Sale Resources for? Who was it for? So if you don't mind, would you answer, why did you create Tax Sale Resources and who is it actually for?
I guess I'll answer that with a little background on how we got into the industry. I were flipping homes in 2007, 2008. Ended up upside down on a couple homes. Luckily, we were doing it as a side job, not our primary, and being upside down wasn't catastrophic for us, but certainly wasn't good. And one of the things that we got slapped on one of our houses we were redoing was a tax lien notice. Never heard of such a thing before then, and read up on it. I think I bought my first book was Tax Liens for Dummies, I think was the name of it. Read it and said, this is a whole industry I've never even heard of. Started buying, liens, personally or with some family and friends' money, and quickly found that there's really no resource to even figure out when these sales occur. What liens are in these sales? You basically had to call counties individually, one by one. It was a pain in the butt. And so I was working another job at the time as an engineer. Built a website. It was taxliendatabase.com at the time, and really for the purpose of putting in this information so that we could use it internally. Long story short, met a guy who was selling property data to investors in New Jersey. We decided to come together and create what became Tax Sale Resources, which is now the resource that makes it pretty easy for anybody to go to find out when these auctions occur, what kind of auctions they are, all those little details that used to take forever. We do all that fun stuff of calling counties. We've got several people, that's all they do all day long. It's really fun stuff. But they try to take out that pain for all the investors that are out there. Now, where we're at today, who's it for? It's not quite for those that are just learning. If you're just learning, there's lots of resources out there, and we can be one of those resources to learn. But until you really know what you're doing and understand the value of what we're aggregating, it probably wouldn't make sense to somebody. It makes a ton of sense for anybody that's going to go to a bunch of auctions in a bunch of states. Because just calling, for example, I think Texas is 254 counties. I think Georgia's 119 counties, and all of those counties have the possibility of having an auction every month. So if you want to make all those phone calls yourself, collect the auction lists, and then go out and look up, through the county websites, all the information you need, you can certainly do that. But that's a massive task. I know, because we do it. If you're only going to do it in a county, you can probably do it on your own. And there's resources out there to teach you how to do that. But if you're going to do it at any scale, or you're going to do it in multiple locations across the country, that's the biggest advantage that we bring, is we save a boatload of time for those that really spend your time doing what you do best, which is underwriting properties, buying the liens, not doing the basic things like, when is this auction occurring? Where is it occurring? What properties are in it? That's the stuff that we take care of.
Thank you, Brian. It's great to have you here. And as always, we're grateful that you created Tax Sale Resources. For me personally, it provides us the insights that we need. The data and the information that's all over the place when I'm investing has now been put into one site, whether it's at, Tax Sale Finders or any of the other Tax Sale Resource products. All that information is compiled, so it makes my life a whole lot easier personally for me. But thank you for answering that question. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so you can keep up with the latest tips and insights. And next week, we're going to talk about how to do online auctions and if they really work. So we'll see you on that next video. Until then, happy investing.